So I've been interested in multi-tools, and I've had some time to work on some stuff that I'm sure some people might find interesting. So I think we'll get straight into the prototype because I'm sure that's what everyone's here for. Okay, so here is my prototype for what is a utility blade multi-tool. So on one side you have a utility blade, and on the other side we have a bit driver, and then storage for 2 bits right now. And this is using the bit driver from the Roxon Flex system. It's actually, I've found a really good way to source a bit driver to use in something like this. I'm going to show you what's inside of this one, and then here's another example. Okay, now the scale should just come right off. Yep. So here you can see some of the inside and how I've fit this bit driver in there. It's fit in with just like a press fit. And then I can show you how this locking mechanism works now. This push. And then you can see how this geometry here locks into that portion. I can show you better on this example. So the locking geometry is basically not dissimilar from something like a lockback, just no stop pin. And then it's using magnets to both make the detent here and to lock into place in the open position. This little triangle bit is also pushing this lever back into the frame here. So I try to disperse as much of the load into the frame as possible. It also allows for action similar to a gravity knife, which I'm not sure if I'm a fan of yet. So these stay together pretty well. And then the bits here is just a gap. And then the bit holder fits in there. Now these bits are only held in with tension from the plastic itself, which is one of the things that I am going to change on the next version. Going forward, there's a couple things I'm going to change for version 2, since this is just a prototype. I really want to make it so you can see down your blade. That's a problem with this one, and I can have more blade exposed if I do that, is my thinking. And then I want to have storage for another blade under here, and then as well as some other tools like Victorinox tweezers and some of their other tools. I've gotten a few suggestions when I posted this somewhere, so I'll be incorporating those, as well as making this ambidextrous, because the system doesn't necessarily have to be one-sided. I just double the thumb stud on the opposite side, and then I will make this same cutout in the frame here. And then I'm thinking I'm going to redesign the shape of the frame as well. Hopefully I'm going to angle these bits like this so I can fit in more, although I do need to try and keep some strength around the bit driver. So the next thing is some mods for some of these Roxon multi-tools. Starting off, we have extra bit storage for the Flex system. It takes up 4 layers and it uses 6mm magnet here to hold the second bit in, because there's not much plastic to hold that in, as well as this also holds the tweezer from the tweezer, pen, and pin implement. Thought this was a good way of incorporating that. This takes up 4 layers. It's kind of thick, but since I keep this tool bladeless, I thought this was a good way to carry extra bits. And then the next thing is particularly relevant because Roxon just released a flex system for this tool, which is the knife scissors. I'm working on thumb stud because I don't find the cutout they currently use particularly comfortable. Like, it works, but I think it could be better. So that is not finished yet, but in next week's video it will be. The plan is to do one more version of this where I fix all those things I talked about, and then move on to hopefully a pocket knife based tool like a Swiss Army knife, and then hopefully refine that a bit, and then maybe someday we can get to a plier based tool, but that is very far away. If you have any suggestions for this tool in particular, like things you would want to see added, leave them in the comments, and then I'll try and work them in. Any of the mods I do for tools like this, I will release. and they should be in the description. I'll put this one here once it's done. And that's about it for this week. I will hopefully have a new tool by next week. And thanks for watching.